Are your thoughts silently sabotaging your success? In this episode, business coach Laura Watson uncovers the invisible mindsets that keep career women stuck and the one mindset shift that could change everything. Whether you're burning out or stuck in self doubt, this conversation will help you rewrite the story and reclaim your power. Stay tuned, it's going to be eye opening. Welcome to the Shannon Fox Show, the podcast where we empower career moms to thrive. I'm your host, Shannon Fox, a career advancement coach dedicated to helping moms like you leverage your strengths to land your dream job, secure that well-deserved raise, or finally get that promotion, all without sacrificing time with your family. Each week, I'll bring you actionable strategies, inspiring stories, and strength-based tools to help you align your career with your natural gifts and step into your full potential. So, if you're ready to stop feeling stuck and start building the career and life you deserve, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm joined here today with Laura Watson. Laura is the founder and lead business coach at Venture Coaching International, where she helps business owners and executives improve their personal effectiveness, communication, and leadership skills. With over 25 years of coaching and counseling experience, Laura specializes in uncovering blind spots, developing mental and emotion mastery, and eliminating self-sabotage, all of which help professionals reduce stress, stay focused, and accelerate their results. She's also a world champion country dancer, proving that mindset and discipline can extend beyond the boardroom. Laura, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thanks for having me, Shannon. It's awesome to be here.
So, you've spent 25 years coaching business owners and executives. So, what led you to the on this path?
Oh my good. Well, this is really an extension of a path. So I've always been interested in helping people. Helping people and being in service was role modeled by my parents when I was growing up, and when I was looking at uh, my furthering my education. I looked at a number of options, and I chose social work. So
Oh,
that was
wow.
my original career. I got a master's in social work. I did clinical. I also studied leadership, and it was just all about always been wanting to help people be the best they can be. That really is my passion. It's what I want for myself. It's what I want for my family. It's what I want for my clients. And so I was in nonprofit for a number of years, and then started to do some reevaluation, hired a career coach to help me through that thinking at the time. And 20 years ago, coaching was a frontier career. There weren't a
Yes.
whole lot of coaches out there, and my husband had his first business at the time and was feeling the stressors associated with that. He had a business coach, and I started to realize, oh my goodness, these entrepreneurs and are out there, their businesses are like another child for them, right?
Yes.
They're
Yes.
passionate about it. They're putting all kinds of time and energy into it. And sometimes it's taking them away from their families, the things that are
Yes.
important to them. They're sacrificing their health, their wellness, all to make this business work. And
Yes.
so I saw an opportunity to bring my helping skills to the table and really help these people lead themselves more effectively first, so that they can then lead their business and lead others more effectively. And so I found a place where I thought I could serve. And so
Yeah.
I've been doing that now for over 20 years, and I absolutely love it.
I love that. I can see your passion. And I think especially, our listeners are mainly women and they have that tendency to just want to go that extra mile and we're constantly like facing burnout.
Mhm.
So I think I love that you are here to help and serve and all of that. So what are some mindsets that or blind spots that you think that hold these people back from reaching their goals?
That's an interesting question, because uh, there's always different sort of blind spots, but then there's also common threads amongst the blind spots. And the blind spots are a symptom of the mindset. So they're actually intertwined. And mindset can really, be a variety of things. It's often a common mindset is the mindset of I'm not good enough, I'm not okay, I don't know it. And the not good enough mindset really drives people to push harder and need to do more and sort of thing. And which then creates all kinds of other symptoms. It creates that burnout,
Yes.
because they're pushing and they're trying to do it all. Whether that mindset shows up in I'm not a good enough parent, I'm not a good enough spouse, I'm not a good enough business owner, that's definitely one common mindset that manifests in a whole variety of ways.
Absolutely.
So that's definitely a key one. I could go on about others,
Yeah.
but that's definitely a very powerful and common mindset.
Yes, yes. And then I've also noticed too is this like self-sabotaging in people. And have you noticed that in your coaching is that they kind of self-sabotage themselves because they're kind of leaning from that burnout or I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So they automatically self-sabotage themselves for that promotion, that job that they want or something.
Everything. Been
Yes.
there, done that, got the t-shirt. I've coached other people through it. It's like, oh my God, I have been very creative over the years in how I sabotage myself. And
Well, what advice do you want to give them since you've had experience?
well, a lot of the blind spots are called blind spots because we're not aware of them.
That's true.
And even if we're aware of them, we don't always confront them.
Mm.
So here's a powerful example for me. When I first got into coaching, I had to find my own clients, right?
Right.
Being in social services originally, my clients were handed to me.
Yes.
And so I automatically had work. Transition into coaching, and all of a sudden I have to find my own clients. And the coaching profession, coaching training, maybe it's changed now a bit. I haven't been taken training in a while, but I was trained to deliver a free coaching session. People will automatically see the value and sign on.
Right.
And it didn't happen. It's like I was giving free coaching sessions up to yin yang. People were saying, wow, that was transformative. Oh, but yeah, no, I'm not ready. I don't think I want to move forward. Like,
Right.
gee, what's going on here? And my blind spot was around selling. I had a
Yes.
mindset and a limiting belief that selling was awkward, selling was pushy, selling was trying to convince people of something,
Right.
selling was slimy. I had all of these limiting beliefs in a mindset that selling was bad and
Right.
that I sucked at it. So there was all kinds of stuff, and I sabotaged myself for like 5 years.
Wow.
And I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to face it. I thought it, and I didn't want to be one of those slimy people.
Right. Right.
And right. And I had to learn, and I had to do some reading, and I had to learn that, wow, you know what? And I had to shift my mindset. Selling's not slimy. Selling is actually a helping
Mhm.
conversation. And I had to stop, I had to get out of this mindset of thinking that I had to convince people and realize that I just had to show up and help people. And
Yes.
I had to do the process slightly different. I had to help people differently from just offering a free coaching session,
Right.
because the free coaching session wasn't helping people bridge the gap between seeing that coaching is just a pathway for helping them get from where they are today to the future they want for themselves tomorrow. Because
Yes.
although the free session was transformative at times, it wasn't helping them see how they were going to bridge the gap. And
Right.
really, people don't want to buy coaching.
No.
They want to buy the solution. They want to get to the other side. Coaching is just one of many paths, actually,
Yes.
that can help people bridge that gap and get to the other side. So that's one of the ways that I sabotaged myself for years, was just thinking about it the wrong way and
Right.
then resisting it and getting, I just don't want to do that. Getting really
Exactly.
obstinate about it, which is another way I sabotage myself.
Yes. I love that. I love it because I've heard so many times that selling is actually serving. And so when I heard that, it also allowed me to change my mindset around it because again, you kind of get that slimy you people think sales and you're like, "Oh, used
Yes.
card salesman or the encyclopedia. I'm going to show my age. You know, when you had to go
Yes.
to the door and knock for
Yep.
encyclopedias
For
or,
me, it was the vacuum guy.
oh, yes, exactly. And so that's what people think about. But I love that, you had that mindset shift and you found the way to put it where you're serving, which is something that you love and that you're passionate about. And that
Mm,
you can see that it does bring value. You are helping and you're helping them reach that final goal that they want through that.
absolutely. And when I was able to shift that mindset, the pressure was off as
Mhm.
well, right? Like
Oh
I
yeah.
just have to show up and serve. And sometimes serving means, you know what? This person's not a fit, or I'm not a fit for this person, and I can still serve by sending them off to some resource that's going to be better for them.
Absolutely.
And right. And then other
Absolutely.
times, yeah, the fit is there, especially in coaching. Fit is so important. Trust and
Hmm.
fit, so,
Yes,
so important.
absolutely.
And so the conversation became more about being in service, seeing if there's a fit. And if there is, if the person's ready, then great.
Yeah.
There's usually a way that we can make it work. Because the other thing I love is just helping people, you know, like I said, be the best version of themselves and get more of what they want in life.
Right.
Because that's what we all want.
Exactly, exactly. So when you're talking to these career women, and we've talked a little bit about mindset, we've talked um, about, coming over I mean, mindset's huge. I feel like that's like one of the biggest things that our listeners are struggling with is their mindset because, so I know we're talking a lot about it. Is there any other advice you want to give around their mindset?
Well, yeah, it really is the core issue because, lots of change programs, whether it's coaching or something else, they all focus on if you want a different result, you got to take a different action.
Right.
And that's pretty obvious. We all know that. Weight loss, pretty common example. If I want to lose weight, I got to do something different. I got to eat less and exercise more. We all
Mhm.
know that, but
Right.
we don't, and we can make it happen for short bursts of time, but we can't make it long-term and sustainable often.
Right.
And why we can't do that is because we have to dig deeper. And so the chain of change that I call it has 4 links in the chain. And the link ends with the change of results. So here's the chain. If we want different results, we have to take different action. But if we're going to take different action sits in feeling differently. Because we as human beings are very simple people. We do what we feel like doing, and we tend to not do what we don't feel like doing. So
Exactly.
I feel like eating cake right now. I don't feel like ordering salad.
Right.
Right? And then we take action in alignment with our feelings. And the link in the chain that's deeper than our feelings is our thinking, our mindset. So we have to, if we're going to change our results, we have to dig deeper and look at the thoughts. And it's because it's the thoughts that drive our feelings, it's the feelings that drive our actions, it's our actions that drive the results. And those thoughts are all in that mindset piece. And we think at a mile a minute. We have all kinds of thoughts that we're unaware of. So
Mhm.
we have to build awareness of our mindset. We have to start to notice, um, how are we viewing a situation, because all these events, a variety of things, situations happen excuse me, throughout our day,
Mhm.
and we have an immediate thought or judgment or
Mhm.
assumption about that action. And that thought is either going to be very simply positive or negative. And if we view the thought as negative, we tend to go into an automatic reaction about it. That reaction is based on some belief we have that we may not even be aware of. It leads into an automatic response or behavior of ours, which creates this downward spiral to nowhere. And we,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like you can relate.
Yes, I can.
Okay. So my pattern used to be I didn't like something would happen. Personal example in my family, I'd get pissy about something. That was my reaction. And I would start stomping my feet or slamming a door or a cupboard. And somehow my family was supposed to know that something was wrong with mom. And
Yes.
right.
Yep. Yep. Been
And
there.
yeah. And so yeah, and it was all because something had happened and I was viewing it negatively. And on top of that, not communicating about it,
Exactly.
which my bad.
Yeah.
So we're when we become conscious and aware of our thoughts and the lens that we're viewing those thoughts through, the assumptions that we're making, we can switch ourselves from and get ourselves out of that downward spiral. And we can be, instead of being reactive, we can learn to be responsive. So the events aren't necessarily going to change, but our response to the events will change when we change our mindset. So we change our mindset, our thoughts, we change our feelings, we change our actions, we change our results. That's the chain of change that we need to work on.
I love that. I absolutely love that. I've noticed in my life, I have, young kids that I think they wear their clothes maybe for 5 minutes. And then, my daughter's 12. So then she needs to change. And so it goes into the dirty clothes basket. And then she'll wear another outfit for 5 minutes and then she needs to change. And so I used to get so frustrated having to do laundry. And I'd say, I have to do laundry again. I have to. And then I went, no,
That's your mindset.
exactly. And so then now I say, I get to do laundry now for my family. I get to serve my family by doing laundry. And it's made laundry a little bit more fun. You know?
Absolutely. You know what? And that's a really powerful example of just shifting one little word in our thinking changes how we feel about it.
It really does.
Right. And then
Yeah.
when we change how we feel about it, then everything else changes after that.
Yes.
I had a similar example. I would get pissy around the laundry as well and it all piling up. My mindset shift was I choose to do
Mm,
laundry,
I choose,
right?
yes.
Because doing the laundry was a way for me to be in service of my family.
Hmm.
And eventually that changed, and I wanted to teach my kids responsibility, and I got them
Right.
doing their own laundry and all that kind of stuff, right? But in the
Exactly.
beginning, yeah, for me it was, you know what, it's not I have to do laundry, it's I choose to do laundry because that's how one of the ways I serve my family.
Yes.
So yeah, just that one little
Yes.
word change
Just
can
one word.
change our mindset like it did for you, and it
Yes.
makes all the difference.
Yes. Yes. It really, really does. So I love this conversation. How
Mm.
can our listeners get more information and connect with you?
I would love to connect with your listeners. I'm always open to having a conversation. So the best way to find me is at my website. My website is venturecoaching.ca. I'm guessing you'll probably put it in the show notes.
Yes. Yes.
My phone number is there on my website. There's a form if they want to reach me over email. So that's the best place to find me. I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook, the traditional places as well. And then on my website, right at the top, there's actually a free tab. And so
Ooh.
if your listeners are interested in, if they're business owners and want to create a simple business plan that also includes some mindset work, or if they want to learn some communication skills or how to give feedback more effectively, there's a whole bunch of free ebooks on my website there that they are welcome to download. And those ebooks have my contact information in them as well if they ever want to have a follow-up conversation.
Awesome. So make sure you go check out her website. And again, it will be linked in the notes. And I love to, Laura, to leave my listeners with an action step. So what's one piece of advice that you would give to someone who wants to level up their mindset and leadership, but doesn't know where to start?
The action step is build your awareness. Next time you feel something, because the feeling is always the clue. You feel pissy, you feel stressed, you feel anxious, you feel afraid. Notice the feeling and then use that feeling as a clue to notice your thinking. What's the thinking that led to the feeling? And then what's the sort of event or the circumstance that led to the thought that led to the feeling? And that's the path to building self-awareness. And with this, and if they notice, once they notice the feeling and the thought, then they can consider, do they want to change that thought? The thoughts are all, like we talked earlier, the thoughts are just so automatic and on autopilot.
Right.
We're just not aware. So that's the process for building awareness. And that would be the first action step. Notice the feeling, and then what was the thought that drove the feeling? And that will help to build awareness.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much for tuning into The Shannon Fox Show. If you found value in today's episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another career mom who's ready to thrive. Don't forget to grab your free Mastery Zone Discovery Quiz, where you'll uncover your strengths and take the first step toward aligning your career with your superpowers. You can also connect with me on Instagram at the.shannon.fox for more tips and inspiration. Until next time, remember, you're not just building a career, you're creating a life you love. Let's make this happen.